Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. Today's episode is for the ones carrying love in one hand and pain in the other. It's for those of us who have walked away emotionally, spiritually, maybe even physically from someone who hurt us, and yet still feel the thread of love stretching across time, space, and suffering. If you've ever been haunted by a relationship where harm was done, but love still lingers. If you've ever wrestled with the question, how do I honor what we had without betraying what I need now? If you've ever cried because you missed someone who wasn't good for you, or someone you had to leave, or someone you couldn't leave even if you tried, this episode is for you guys. Let's talk about the ties that won't break. There's a pain no one warns us about. It's not the rage of betrayal, not the devastation of a clean break, not even the grief of death. It's the slow ache of unfinished love. A love that didn't die, but couldn't stay. A thread still alive, but frayed, tangled, confused. Sometimes it shows up in the quiet hours. A song comes on, a smell drifts by, a memory bubbles up from nowhere, and there they are. The person who made you laugh so hard your ribs hurt, or cry so deep your spirit cracked open. Someone who left marks on you. Some bruises, yes, but also fingerprints of connection, affection, even devotion. It's not as simple as move on, like people tell us, because love isn't a light switch, because your heart doesn't file clean exit paperwork. And maybe deep down, you don't want to fully cut the thread, even if you had to go. People ask, why do you still care? Why are you crying? They treated you terribly. Why do you miss them? But you do. And it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're confused. It means you're human. Our hearts are wired for connection, even messy ones, especially probably messy ones. Sometimes the person who hurt you also saved you once, or knew your secrets, or saw something that no one else did. Maybe they held your hand through a storm before becoming the storm themselves. And that duality, that painful truth that someone can be both comfort and chaos, well, that's almost impossible to explain. And we try, don't we? We try to explain it to ourselves. But we don't. We carry it quietly. The grief of what was, the longing for what could have been, the guilt for still feeling love at all. Let me say this, guys, as clearly as I can. You can love someone who hurt you. In fact, you've got to. You can grieve someone who wasn't safe. You can miss someone and still know that they weren't good for you. That doesn't make you broken. That makes you whole. Because wholeness isn't perfection. It's not tidy. It's not healed and moved on with no second thoughts. It's embracing the full truth that love leaves residue, that connection has gravity, that your healing doesn't require amnesia. You don't have to hate someone to stay away. In fact, you should not ever hate someone. You don't have to pretend nothing good ever happened. You don't have to burn every memory to protect your peace. Peace comes from integration, not erasure. From allowing the full, messy, contradictory story to exist inside you. And still choosing to love forward. Sometimes what we're experiencing isn't just missing someone. It's a psychological tether, an attachment wound. Maybe you were trauma bonded. Maybe your nervous system felt addicted to the highs and lows. Maybe your love language got distorted by fear or control or abandonment. And yet, within all that, there was still something real. And you know that. And that's what makes it so confusing. Because the truth is, even relationships that harmed us can contain moments of genuine love. That's not an excuse for abuse. That's a recognition of complexity. When you carry these layers, when your thread of connection is knotted and frayed, your healing must go deeper. You must ask not just why did they do this, but why did I stay? What did I hope to receive? What need in me got awakened and betrayed? These questions aren't about blame. They're about clarity. They're how we untie the knot. Sometimes we feel like the only way to honor what we had is to go back, to reopen the lines, to forgive too soon, just to feel connection again, to reach out even when it risks our healing. Forgiveness is important for you and for the others. But hear this. You can honor the love without returning to the harm. You can hold space for their humanity while protecting your peace. You can send them love in your thoughts without sending another text. You can say, I will always care, but I must keep my distance to be whole. Forgiveness doesn't require reunion. Closure doesn't always come from them. Sometimes it comes from you. The part of you brave enough to keep walking, even when the thread still tugs. There is a deeper love, a higher love, a quieter, enduring love that transcends circumstances. Not romanticized love, not codependent love, but pure love. It's the kind of love that we talk about here all the time. It's the kind of love that says, I wish you well. I wish you healing. I release you to the journey that you must walk. And I honor the part of mine that we shared. This is the love that doesn't break, even when everything else does. It's the love that remains when all blame has faded and all ego has quieted. It's not about who was right or who caused what. It's about what was real and what still is. Even if you never speak again, even if they never understand, even if no one else gets it, you do. And that's enough. If you're carrying a thread like this, a thread that won't break no matter how far you've come, know this. You are not weak, you are not foolish, and you are not broken. You are human. You are healing. and you are honoring something real. And you are allowed to feel everything. The love, the ache, the gratitude, the grief, and all of that without judgment. This is the work, guys. This is the gift. This is the thread. And in this tapestry of life, even the torn threads can be rewoven into beauty. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. And if no one else says it today, I love you. I love you all. And you know what I need you to do? Go out and pass that on. Later, Gators. Bye-bye.